Hello, this is Simply Adventuring coming to you from Landis Valley Farm and Museum here in Landis, Pennsylvania here, just outside of Lancaster. I've been here many times before for other events, but today we are coming here for Harvest Days. And they are also celebrating their 100th anniversary of being in existence. So, without further ado, let's go check out what this event has to offer. So our first stop is going to be here in the museum. I've never actually been into the museum part of it. I've been to everywhere else here on the premises for other events as well, but I've never had a chance to go into the museum. This is a paid event. I believe it's like $14 for adults. I'm not sure what it is for children, maybe 10. But let's go inside and see what the museum has to offer, or the visitor center has to offer. So we enter through the side here. Oh, sorry. Let the door closed a little bit too far. This is a Pennsylvania farm museum. So normally they'd have the upstairs open, but I think today is not going to be open. But we can look inside and see what's it. So this museum concentrates on the agricultural and German history of this area. Pennsylvania German history as well. And the history of this farm as well. Mostly about this farm itself. So I'm trying to see where we're supposed to start at here. So they have a whole bunch of artifacts. And there's the actual they have the historical museum sign right up there.
I'm sorry. They just, the plumbing is really lousy. We have a lot of problems. So we can't, Here. Okay, no problem.
We have an Asian shield up there. So when this was the Pennsylvania Farm Museum, the original admission price was $2, as you can see, but now it's a little bit more. Koshers, Pennsylvania Farm Museum of Landis Valley. So this is where we're currently at. Oh, and that heat feels so good right now. Pretty neat. They do accept donations as well.
I saw him coming in. I don't know where the little scallywag is.
Yes, it's your replacement.
Pardon? Oh, my replacement. Okay, good.
Oh, wow.
Like I said, I don't know who's supposed to be watching the front desk. We have one more person. I think it's the guy from the gun shop. He should be coming in to get his key, and then all the keys are ready.
And there's the
You know what? No,
Landis family.
no, this is the law.
Who owned this?
Lots lots of people are coming in here to use the bathrooms, and the plumbing will not handle this kind of crowd. We have so much trouble with our plumbing.
So this area is closed. The bathrooms are closed, as you heard. So normally the museum offices are up that way by the where they show that you see the boot repair. So there's no public access for neither up here or upstairs. So that's what's over here. So
I'm getting more ice out of the basement.
Okay, we'll let you. It's down that way.
No, I know.
Oh, you can. You can use this.
So that's what's really up there is the offices. So there are a few food vendors here, as you can see. Italian ice. They're selling, Landis Valley Christian Fellowship is here, selling baked goods, as you can see. Oh, and chicken corn soup, which will probably hit the spot today, later today sometime. I'll probably come and stop by and get some of it. We got whoopie pies, chips. So there's the Landis Valley Cemetery, where the Landises are buried at. I think I did a video about that a long while back. So we got Noel's Cafe. Not much of a coffee drinker. Yes, shockingly. So we got Mad Barbecue here also. Wow. Well, you get a brisket melt and 2 sides for $20. A rib platter, $18, ready at $1.30. So you gotta wait till later. So they also have chopped brisket, pulled pork, mac and cheese bowls. We got Joe's Fish over here. And they're doing looks like a demonstration. I also have a pumpkin patch here, so I guess you can come and purchase your so I think he's making apple butter.
That's how I know it's just under a boil. And at that point, I take the kettle off the boil and I start to siphon it off.
I guess I was wrong. I think he's making beer.
It's ambient temperature. It's not hot.
Oh, but that pot had been under the fire moments ago, is that true?
No, I haven't put it on yet. I am going to put it on. I'm just trying to get this as stalled as possible. So this is barley, buckwheat, and oat. So it will create a relatively pale beer. What I find is the oatmeal beers that I make end up being very cloudy, just because of the property of the oat. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Want the beer without a hop? Huh? I have no idea. Probably. If you could step on one side.
So I'm actually filming with my phone. For some reason, I'm having an issue with the GoPro all of a sudden. Keeping it charged the way I've been charging it the last. So the actual charging port is having issues.
A friend of mine made that in Indiana.
Copper kettles.
Yep. A friend of mine from Indiana made those.
Oh, hops.
That's called a Schnell, which is German for quick. It's a quick beer. It's maybe about 4 ounces when it's all said and done. Yeah, these are from my home.
Oh, yeah. Where do you live?
Yeah, down in Reading.
Oh, you live. So how long will it take
From beginning to end to what? Drinkable beer, a month. To the end of the human process,
Yeah.
3 hours.
Okay.
Okay? So you heat your water up. Once you take that water off the boil, you let your grains steep about an hour, let it cool down, put it back on the boil, bring it back up to a boil, and that just depends on how hot your fire is, you know, how quick you can get it up. Once that comes up to a boil again, you'll put your hops in, let that cook for 10, 20 minutes. Let it, take it off, skim the flowers off. Once that cools down to blood temperature, again, depending on how cool of a day it is, you'll take it, put your yeast in it, let that yeast sit. Once you know the yeast is alive, you put it in your mash or your storage vessel, whatever that might be, a keg, a hogshead, a barrel, a gherkin, a firkin. Yes. Well, take this off. Okay, this is called a bung plug. Correct. And we take a piece of clay with a rye straw stuck through it and stick that down in, and that acts as the vent. Okay? It sits for about 10 days. After it's off gassing, 10 days later, take that clay stopper off, put the wooden plug in, have a strapping man take this down to the basement, let it sit for about a month, and then you've got a beer you can drink. So it's a relatively simple process. The beer brewer on most plantations, most farms, German, English, Swedish, Finnish, I don't care, is a woman. Industrial brewing is a man. It's that division, that age-old division. If it's in the home, it's women's work. If it's out of the home, it's men's work. Okay? And this is one of those processes that you as the housewife can put on in the morning, let the water come up to a boil, go do something. Come back. Add water to it. Walk away. It's not something you have to stand there for. If you go and talk to the brewers back there, they're going to say, this is the most complicated process in the whole world. It's going to take you 18 years to learn how to be a master brewer. You'll never figure it out in your whole life. It doesn't work that way.
Depends on how good you want your beer to taste.
And that's the point, right? It's easy to make a beer. It's hard to make a beer somebody wants to drink. And if your option is to kill yourself with the water because the cows got down into the stream that you drink from, or the human chamber pots got thrown down in the streets in the city, beer is your safer alternative.
So does that cask build up pressure?
There's an excuse for you.
Yes, this will. So you relieve the bung plug, and we take a clay stopper with a rye straw stuck through it. And that acts as an airlock. It's a one-way valve.
Okay.
Only the CO2 will come out. No air can get down. Now, what will happen is under pressure, this will start to excrete black goop. It'll pluck up and it'll run down the side, and I usually have a cup that would catch that. That's living brewer's yeast. Put it back in, use it again. Sell it to a baker. Okay?
I'm saying, what is it?
Living brewer's yeast.
Okay. Okay.
So it's a black goo. The miracle of wood is that wood gets impregnated with things. So the longer you use the same barrel to brew with, the brewer's yeast would already be inside the barrel. So that you can sell once you get a strain that you like. And that's what a lot of breweries did, would sell the brewer's yeast that's scooped down the sides of the kettles.
So does the copper give it a taste at all?
I don't find that it does. I'm sure it does to some capacity, but I don't feel that it does. Like when I do it at home, I use stainless steel, which won't excrete a flavor, and then when I do this at events or down at museums and I'll keep a batch, I don't taste the difference. Okay. That's just me though. I'm sure it does in some way.
So now we're coming into building 2, which is the sexton's house. Originally next to the Landis Valley Mennonite, but also this is the harness and saddlery as well. But let's see what this side is. Unless they're both connected, but which they look like they are do connect. Oh yeah. That explains the difference between the Amish and the Mennonites.
So every knot he's done that.
And over here we have information about the section house, which we're in. So this building was moved here. Church congregation. So they were Mennonites. There's some Landis.
I use both depending upon what I'm doing. If I'm attaching, you sold it.
I'm having to wait because everybody's walking around the display here. A little bit more history about this building. So yeah, in one of the videos that I did here a few years back, I went over to the cemetery right next door and found Jacob Landis' grave burial. Something about the Proctor. Landis Valley Mennonite Cemetery is right next door. So both the Mennonites and the Amish are Anabaptist. So they believe in the separation of church and state. And they don't believe that they should participate in the military because they'd be taking lives. The Mennonite believes. Yeah, more information about the meeting house. Wow, they built that meeting house in 2 weeks. Artist mirror. Bloody theater. Speaking of Mennonites, we have some here. So let me go next door.
That is
Ate
very,
all these too.
that is very.
Oh, so this
I
is
am
They hold the layers together.
What layers?
Layers on the heel. The layers. Those wood
Shoes
pegs.
like that.
Oh, the wood
pegs.
pegs. Oh, okay. Okay, that's what I'm looking at.
Now, while I'm stacking them up and pegging them in place, there's nothing holding them down. You know, you're
Yeah.
you know, so
so he's also a
I got
cobbler.
some hide glue and I'll just slop that on
Okay.
just to hold it before I peg it. That's water soluble.
Okay.
It's not intended to be a permanent.
Can you see okay, Josh?
It just won't do the job.
I walked in when you said about the nails. I missed.
Well, yeah, you
This
know.
is super cool. Thank you, Mark.
That was good.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's awesome.
That was impressive.
Very, very impressive.
That was so interesting.
You have
This
so.
way, so Josh would pick
So I'm in.
See?
Yeah.
I made a channel in the, this is a repair job.
Okay.
But the regular shoes are the same way. So you can either put a channel in here and then all your stitch work is done in the channel. And because there's a little flap on top, because I cut it at an angle, and I'll just push it down and you cover the threads.
With two, needle on.
You can do that. It's something that I do. It's historic, but you don't need to because you could stitch right on top. Of course, the first thing you're going to walk on is the threads and where to mount. It doesn't mean the shoe's going to fall apart, but this is an indication of it's going to last longer. You know, you're going to have to walk through the leather before you even get to the thread, which is in the middle of this big thick piece of sole.
I'm really confused. Is that thread?
This is
It's
sure.
thread, yeah.
Yeah.
You push that through with needles.
Well, I use the awl. The awl makes the hole, and then the needle can be boar's hair.
Right.
You know.
Unbelievable.
Very good.
This was so interesting. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
And I can't get any more, which is why I don't use them. They're very, very hard to get because we don't let boars grow to the point where their bristles get 7 inches long.
Oh.
So they are imported and it's difficult and the tariffs and all, it just destroys everything. So,
So interesting.
but, you know, I make do.
What a hobby.
Yes. Don't take it up, you won't make any money. You know, so, and I don't give a spiel.
Can you give
They were asking.
Can you give a brief explanation to the children how you made the sheet?
Do you have 7 years? No. That's the average apprenticeship. To learn any trade is 7 years. And anybody know when you start? What's the ideal age? 12. Correct. Yeah, the family basically is turning over that child to the household of a master tradesman, and he is responsible for now feeding and clothing and housing and paying for the formal education. But out of that free labor, which that apprentice is providing for the master, he is also legally bound to teach that child his trade, so that at the end of 7 years, he has to produce the master's piece. Sound familiar? He'll say, okay, I want you to do this, go, you know, and he does his work, whatever trade it's involved with, and said, I'm presenting my master's piece, and he goes, yes, you now have, you basically learned everything I know. Your apprenticeship is over, become a journeyman, and that means you are free to go and practice your trade and earn a living for the first time. Choose wisely, because you don't have blocks of 7 years to learn another trade. No one wants to feed an adult. You know, it's bad enough you gotta feed a child, you know.
So at 19, they were going out and starting their own business.
Well, they're broke. They don't have any money.
Okay.
And part of the legal contract says when you release an apprentice as a journeyman, you also have to provide him with his basic tools. So, but what are you gonna do? You're broke, you have a set of tools, you have a skill. You go to another master and say, are you hiring employees?
Okay.
And then you become an employee of the shop, and you're getting paid for the work. You know, so that's ideally, you do see instances of journeymen kind of pooling what little they have to form a business that way. You know, it doesn't always work like anything else. Starting a business is iffy, but you have to remember, at least ultimately everybody needs shoes.
How long did it take to create a pair of shoes? I mean, how many days did it take to create a pair of shoes?
To be able to make a living, it's been historically looked at, and you need 40 man hours for a pair of common shoes. And these are common shoes, there's nothing fancy about them. These are everyday work day. Now your work day is how long?
14 hours.
Depends on the season. Yeah, sun up to sundown is your work day. How many days a week do you work?
6, probably.
Six days a week. So the object is, that's for one person, the object is get help. And part of that is your apprentice. You know, is it a waste of a man's time to polish a shoe? Yeah, kids do this. That's kids' work. So while the apprentice or your own children are doing dirty work, you know, which they're unpaid for, but then again, in return they're getting a roof over their head and clothes on their back and food. So you work to make your living. And there's women work available in shoemaking, because you're supposed to be good with needle and thread, making clothing. You could be taught how to sew leather, and then relieve the master shoemaker in this instance from having to do what's considered semi-skilled work. And the more hands, the faster it goes, the faster the money comes in. Everybody in the household benefits by their contribution of labor depending on their skill levels and age. So you can get one done quicker, especially in the summertime when the days are longer. And I'll reveal a secret. Leather is generally flat and it is stiff. So this is the top of a shoe. Now, it doesn't look like a foot. And you can bend this all day long, and it will not take a roundness of a foot. So, how did I get it to take the shape of the last? This is the wooden form the shoe is built on. That does that. You have to do something to the leather. What?
Shape it.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't shape by itself.
Stretch it.
You will.
Wet.
What? Get it wet. You get it wet. While it's wet, it's like plastic, hot plastic. It's very pliable. So while it is in a wet state, that's why I said you work better in the summertime because it's warmer. And while you're cranking on it to take the form, you nail it in place, wait till it dries like this is, and all those nails come out. Don't worry. There are no nails in shoes, or shouldn't be. So all that comes out. Now you're going to sew it in place so it has no place to go, but retain the shape it was built on. And one of the good things is, take a look carefully, right or left foot?
Neither.
Neither. This is straight shoe. For 220 years, we wore straight shoes in this country. Now, your feet are not straight. Your shoes are. I just revealed the secret. So when you get your brand new straight shoes, what do you do to them? Find a puddle, stand in it on a nice warm day, and walk around for the rest of the day. They will, the uppers anyway, because the soles are too stiff, they're not going to shift. But the uppers are going to swap left and right to match your crooked feet. Because your feet is the new last. And if your feet is crooked, it'll take the shape of that. You know, so it's one day of, my feet are cold, my feet are wet. Don't worry about it. Because in the morning, the shoe will be dry, it'll be a left and right shoe, and the nonsense, oh, well, they wore straight shoes and it every day, they would switch them to even out the wear. Total bogus. Because the first time you're out on dewy grass, the shoe's going to take a crooked shape, and you tried then switching. It's not going to work. And when you switch shoes like that, you also have to change the buckles. Shoe buckles. You know, the upper strap always has to face out, which means at 4:30 in the morning before you go milk the cows, you're going to be going, what shoe was on what foot yesterday? And in the dark, switch buckles. No, you're not. You're just going to feel it and go. Left shoe, right shoe, put them on, go. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So, we know that archaeologically because shoes are recovered from 18th century sites, therefore they're straight, and you can tell if there's enough of them left, which one was on the right foot, which one was on the left foot. Yeah. It's very simple. So do not panic when you hear about a straight shoe on your crooked feet. One day of slight inconvenience, and that's it. But it's good for you too in the pocket, because this is not my job to provide to the shoemaker. You have to go to the last maker. I don't make these. The last maker makes these. You pay him. He measures your foot. Very skilled individual. I understand that he takes up to 35 measurements of a foot, creates a wooden form for you. You own it. You bring this to the shoemaker and say, here, make my shoes. So if it doesn't fit, don't blame the shoemaker, blame the last maker. So you can tell, you'll see a bunch of holes running around the edge of the last. This is the last. And that means that many times were shoes made on it because those are the nail holes that are holding the upper onto it. So that's why children's lasts have very few holes, because there were probably only one pair ever made on them, because children grow fast. And why someone would want a shoe for somebody's foot that's that small, I have no idea, but there it is. And that's why most children in good weather go barefoot. It's too expensive to get a last made each time their foot grows. So don't bother in good weather. Barefoot all over the place. Wait for the winter or the fall when it starts to get a good hard frost. Then you've got enough saved up money from not putting shoes on their feet in good weather to put shoes on their feet in the winter when they're absolutely going to need it, because they're going to get an education. You got to walk to school, and you need shoes on your feet to get there. There has to be money saved up to pay the schoolmaster to teach each child also. So if you're frivolously spending money during good weather, you may not have any when you're really need it. So, unless you're rich. You know, so, rich kids wore shoes in the summertime. And they outgrew them before they wore them out, that's for sure. And there was a huge business in used shoes. You know, these are all custom made. They're not ready made. You don't like today walk in and look at it. No, it's individually. You get input. I want this. Can you do this? And they go yes, no. You agree to it. You agree upon the price. Then you just be patient and you get it. You get a custom made footwear on your custom last. Yeah.
Are they waterproof at all, or are your feet getting wet every time you go outside?
No, because I grease my shoes. Do you grease yours? No. Yeah. Shoes should be.
So that was very interesting to learn about the shoemaking process. Just as we learned a little bit about the beer making process a little bit. So, like I said, I have been here before, but not for such an event like this. I think the last event I came for was a Christmas event, a bonfire. They had a bonfire. So they have like a little mini maze. So that happens to be sorghum. And if you didn't know, sorghum is used to make brooms. So it looks like corn, but when it's fully grown, but it's used differently. So you can do the mini maze here, but right now there's a whole bunch of little children doing the mini maze. So now let's continue down. I'm trying to figure out if I should go up toward the to the tinsmith and then work my way back around this way. But I'm already this way, so why not? Like I said, I've been here before many times. Came for a barn tour, did an external video years ago because the day that I came, the museums were and most of the buildings were closed. So today I'm glad that we can view the insides of a lot of these buildings. Although when I did the barn tour, some of the buildings were open as well that day. So they do actually have sheep, but the sign says not to touch them. They have a garden here. Let's see what's this over here. Oh, it's the stalls for the sheep. So there's the stall for the sheep. And we got the sheep over there. Oh, cool. MVPs.
It was like a
Hi.
chicken farm. So,
Yeah, look at this. You can tell this pen is new. I mean, this part of the pen is new right here. Recently built, I would say. So here's the pig pen. There's the garden. And then this part of the building is closed, so.
They've done a lot of work on this place in the last couple of years.
Yeah. So there's gonna be a, actually let me go over here and see what's over here first in this building. Like I said, this is my first time coming here where everything is fully open. They have wagon rides as well too, so we'll be doing that later. Oh, okay. So a spring house. Yep, it's a spring house. So that's a spring house. Let's see what they're doing over here. Now I've been to these two buildings before, doing the barn tour, but so it looks like they're explaining cooking during those times.
Hey guys, have you guys ever made a pretzel before? You want to try? You want to learn the techniques for making a pretzel?
Oh, cool.
Your favorite's red.
Mm-hmm.
You want yellow?
So she's showing the kids how to make a pretzel.
Yeah, that's why we say this.
Showing the different steps. How to use a squirrel tail bake oven. So they got a fire going here. Oh, actually, let me get a picture of the wagon going by. I got to find out where they're starting the rides from. Oh, Holland tractor. So they have a guide. Neat. Let me see what this building is. Oh, the actual squirrel tail oven. So you got already a fire going. Sorry.
If they do, that's fine.
Let's see if you can see what the building looks like on the outside here. Unfortunately, you can't see the actual squirrel tail, but it would be looking like a squirrel tail in the back. Let's go into the log home here.
Built into a stone mill. But, you know, at that time,
Oh wow.
you know, that's the oldest property in the county. We didn't have churches. So you had church where, you know, at someone's home church, or, you know, you had church where you would. So,
A lot of the, that's like the Amish do now. Yeah, some of the Amish still do that.
Yeah, there's church Amish and home, you know, and they don't have service in a church.
Cadence, did you want a picture in here? What did you want me to take? The butter turn church. See, that's how you how to cook too. Get up in the morning, start the fire, make a breakfast.
Candle mode up there.
Everybody's standing around and warming up.
Sort of fuck your way in there. That's how you guys go.
You see that? That's where they made the candles. You can ask him. Candles?
Yes,
Yep,
that would
candle
be candle
mold.
mold. Yep. And you can make candles in a mold, or you can make the candles by dipping, just depending on, you know, if you didn't have the money for a mold, you dipped them.
Right.
Also, candles, you know, wouldn't necessarily have been made of beeswax. Beeswax was very expensive. So you would make your candles from fat, tallow candles, okay? And so sheep or beef tallow. And then the other thing that you could have, this is actually a fat lamp.
Okay.
And you would just put fat in here and put a wick into this little slot. And then when you light it, the heat from the flame melts the fat, draws it up the wick, and it burns. Now it's a smoky light, but it's cheap.
Right, right.
And then they would also have reed lamps, which were just a reed from you would find along a creek or pond, and you would again dry that and then soak it in fat, and you would light it, and the fat would draw through it, and that's how you in it.
Right.
And you don't want the wick to burn up, so you just put a little fat in, but also remember that their lifestyle is very, very different from up at the sun and you're in bed at night, and you don't sit there. If you were, there was no watching TV, there was no on your phone, doing anything like that. Your life revolved around the daylight hours. And now you might, as you move further into the 19th century, then you would have lamps and things like that. But in the 18th century, like if you watch a movie of 18th century life, Outlander or whatever, it's terrible the way they depict all these. You have a backwoods cabin with glass windows and all this stuff, and then they've got 15 candles out, no. So in the capital of Virginia, Williamsburg, You know, it was lit up like day. There were 30 candles in the room. This was the Capitol, the governor's palace for a ball. George Washington says it was lit up so bright because they had 15 or 30 candles. In someone's home, it was we pay far less for lighting today than they did for lighting in the 18th century. You know, candles were just very much more expensive than what we pay to light with electric and bulbs and so on.
Now that there, is that toast for toast?
That is a toaster. Yep.
See that? You
So,
put bread in there and toast just.
This is history. I'm going to put porcelain on that a little bit. Sure, the amount of ironwork here is probably a little on the
Looking outside.
We do it because historically, you were dealing with, you know, hand carved.
What is that thing? Just a
That's not really supposed to be there. They didn't really have closets like we know them today. That hides electrical equipment.
Oh, okay.
So you don't see that, it's not there, and it doesn't exist.
What don't you see?
The closet that doesn't exist.
Oh.
It just hides electrical equipment.
How long ago did they tax each room and that's why they didn't have closets?
Well,
Or is that old wives' tale?
That's an old wives' tale. Now they did have something
Stove.
called the glass tax of 1798, by which it was only a one-time thing that existed in 1798. They did assess the houses by the number of windows that you had. Windows was a very expensive commodity for luxury, so they did have the one-time glass tax, but there was no other tax. Now, typically, the vast majority of people did not have closets. There's a couple of reasons for that. And people then try to play games with me and say, well, I've been down to Colonial Williamsburg and I've been into the governor's palace and there are closets there. And there are. Very well-to-do people did have closets because they needed to. They had more stuff. Typically, in terms of...
Closet is to hide.
Right. Most people, in terms of clothing
Carding.
really expensive.
Yeah.
Most people didn't have a lot of clothing. They might have, like a farmer like this house might have a couple of suits, so to speak, suits of work clothes around the field and a Sunday go to meeting set, and that's about it. So you would either hang them on the wall, you didn't have that much, you had places to hang them all, or you put it in blankets just like that, and that's it. You didn't have a lot of need for big closets. It's just, it didn't exist.
So you can see the
But it's not, you'll never see it.
used to separate the flax.
I love this kind of stuff.
And that's the utilities to do carding.
Needs from wants.
Well, yes, that's very true.
You need this and you want
that.
everything else.
People don't understand that anymore.
Yeah.
We need.
So you get a little bit of taste of what it was like to life in colonial or 17th century. Oh, they're doing wood cutting. All right, cool. Oh, making shingles. Cool. Oops. So there's information on restoring a roof. Yeah, I missed that out on that event last week. I was supposed to go to the 1719, but I wasn't feeling well. The maize and snits was last week and had paid for it and everything, but was not feeling too well to go to that event. So showing how they made shingles back in the day. Starts out with a log, as always. Right now he's splitting the log, putting all the different wedges in it. It's also a lot of the same techniques used that the stonemasons would have used as well to make blocks for like the pyramids and any other building that was constructed. Similar technique.
Get the wedge cleared. I think I can see the most light from this angle, right in here. So I'm thinking it's just peeling it off.
So what I call, well, those are the actual wedges, but they would have used glutes. Which is similar to a wedge.
It's amazing they can get the shingles that thin. Like our shingles on our house are
Yeah.
maybe 4 times thicker.
Oh.
We're through it.
So that bench over there is called a schnitzel bunk.
No gym for you. What's that? You don't need a gym. Yeah. The temptation is to dig in there, but that thing's under so much tension. If something were to give, your hand's locked forever. You can never get it out until somebody beat wedges in there.
We're here for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing is,
So he's getting the mallet and the furrow ready. And I didn't know that. I'm just looking at what it says, the tools that are listed there. So
Now we're going to get some work done.
wow, that's a mallet.
It's actually just too tight, but too short of a taper.
The glut. So the wooden ones are gluts.
It's the original bass.
What's that?
It's the original bass.
Yeah. Do we have any other long, like a digging bar or anything that I can kind of peel with? Anything like that? It's always hardest to get it in half. Once it's in half, the quarters come apart pretty easily. That would make sense. If they were green, it cracked open just like a watermelon. They don't fight it like this. Here, just to get this guy out. Is that a cedar? Or?
Yeah, explained that earlier.
oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah.
That's been right before.
Yep. That's what's giving him so much trouble. And not. That and the wood is very dry all the way through.
It does look rather aged.
There we go. Hey.
Good job, guys. All right. Way to go.
Finally got it split.
Okay, Scotty. As they say, beat me up, Scotty. Don't tell somebody here.
You just got to get that last wedge out.
Now we're going to try to get some corn posts for a fence. So we're supposed to bring another piece over and put some pictures.
He wants to make
So we made it to the top here. So this is the brick farmstead and the Grosmuter house. The actual Grosmuter house. Farmstead. Oh. Sheesh. That's what I hate about this one. I think I've been in here, but I'm not sure if I remember coming into the farmhouse before or not previously. I don't think I've ever been, or have I? Yeah, I don't think I've been in here before. This is a very popular local event here.
It's kind of hard to. I feel like this house. That's the bedroom, but then there's like 3 different. Hey, can you try to squeeze the
They look for that work too. Everybody must be upstairs.
What's that thing there, Mom? Heat that up and the steam comes up.
They had all this wood. They I'm over there.
Again, a little bit more history of the Landis family.
There's your transportation.
This would have been the kitchen. And look what your bed warmer was. A little bit more history of the Landis Valley.
Why does he always make that face? Why doesn't he always make that face?
So again, it's your typical farmhouse. Not sure if the grass meter is open or not. Doesn't look like it might be today. But so this was the home where Jacob Landis Jr. and his bride, Catherine Graybro, moved into. The main farmhouse. Oh, they lived in here first, okay. But it's not currently, it doesn't seem like it's currently open. Nope. But we'll look around the whole property from, have a little, that's an S braced, pulled the house in from, basically kind of like buckling. So if I remember correctly, they said, the information said this over here was, I'm trying to remember, because part of this was an addition, and then part of this was the original. I think the stone part was the original. No, the brick is first, then the stone came second. Well, obviously they have horses here. It is a farm, so it would have been a working farm. Okay. So they have another small garden here. This would have been the one for the farmhouse. Hey, what are you doing? I got a picture of this gentleman. That looks like it might be a chicken coop, maybe, the way it's fenced in. And here we have farming equipment. Yep. Let's go up to the actual horse barn. So it looks like they're giving the horses a break today because all their gear is right here. The collar, the bridles, all the other equipment, they would go on them if they were going to use them for working. Lots of firewood here. Oh, we got chickens in a trough here.
Come here.
Here's the stables for the horses. This part ain't usually open.
You're gonna step in food.
Why is the chicken chasing after me?
Trying to get away from you. They don't want to hear us.
A chicken went in there. Chicken! What chicken went?
Don't stare.
A chicken went in there.
Friend, please do not chase the chicken.
See, Ollie? I told you.
You wouldn't want chased. Not unless it's tag, right? That's fun.
It's okay. I told you not to. Do you know the breeds of them?
Yeah, so I got 3 Belgians and a Suffolk Punch. Or are you talking about the chickens?
Well, both.
So in the field, I got 3 Belgians and a Suffolk Punch. So the older, so the grayer of the lady, she's 24. She's a retired logging horse from New York.
Oh, wow.
So she is just here mainly to provide company for Florida. The other 2 ladies that are out there that are Belgians were generous donations to us December this past year. So we're very grateful for them. And they provide a little bit mostly Bonnie and Garnet are retired. And then Grace is the bigger of the 3 there, and then Rose is the smaller.
My daddy's chicken.
Did I do any?
How do you get in there?
Sure. Normally we don't. So in years previous, we used to be allowed to do camera rides.
Oh, they got him back into the chicken coop.
Unfortunately, the
I
state of
think I
Pennsylvania
know why they were
decided that we
chasing me.
no longer
Why this is my
Yes.
pocket and they covered
Yes, they own the property, so they have decided that that's not a liability that they want to. Yeah, especially because from an outside perspective, it's really easy to say darn government, but when you really pay attention,
We got a stone trough here.
individuals like that would have been familiar with livestock more than like others are. So it's just a state.
So this is the Just for Pretty Pleasure Garden. Created in 1880s. So it would have been maintained by the lady of the house. Let's
The rise and the apple store.
Oh, sorry. Sometimes I forget that I'm using my cell phone today instead of my GoPro. Yeah, I'm having issues. I don't know why it's not wanting to charge with. So I think this is the seed project. I think I've been here before once. So yeah, I think this is this.
When you're allowed to volunteer,
Yes.
keep us in mind.
So they have free seeds here. Anything
So I set up more fruits.
you want to take, you
All
can.
right, lettuce. What do you got there?
There's some Jenny Lynn melon seeds, there's some Landis lettuce, and I don't remember what the other one is. Free seeds? I don't remember what the other one is. They're little.
I know the tomatoes. I don't know even what. Excuse me.
It's a great scene.
Oh, here.
They have the offices, it looks like.
I had done it up for Railroad.
Oh, okay.
They wanted they had one for their 50th anniversary celebration. They wanted us to go on and see it. We'll just use them up. It's not like they're gonna stay good forever.
Oh, wow. They have some of the seeds over there. Mm-hmm. I think this is the blacksmith shop, it looks like. And it looks like they may have someone in there hopefully working today. The Epley Shoeing and Blacksmith Shop. Yep, I hear the hammers.
Okay. Well,
Oh, I've seen this gentleman before.
Okay. Well, those were places where that pig iron had to be taken to, and they would have a forge like this, but on a much grander scale. Huge set of bellows, and the bellows were see, water power. That's why.
See if I can go inside and get a better view.
Use the water power to operate a huge set of bellows, and of course a big giant trip hammer. To pound those, so you would have to superheat those pigs because they were very brittle, had a lot of carbon in them. So they weren't really, the blacksmiths couldn't use them. So what they had to do was take those pigs to the forge, heat them up, superheat them up so that they became like a big spongy lump. And then they would put them under that big giant 250-pound hammer, right? Water powered, and pound those into bars and plates. And while they were doing that, they were driving most of the carbon out of that. So now you had something that the blacksmiths could use to make hinges and door latches, nails, horseshoes, things for your fireplace, and all that kind of stuff. But you couldn't make a good tool out of it because you'd driven all the carbon out of it. So now what you had to do was you had to take some of that wrought iron and try to reintroduce carbon back into it. So now there's different ways of making steel, adding carbon back. Remember I said the difference between iron and steel is the carbon content by volume. So you're trying to add carbon back into that iron to create steel. Very long, very complicated, technical process. And the worst part was that even the end result was always kind of, it wasn't really consistent, just due to the fact that metallurgy in those days, like in the 18th century, was still relatively new science. So anyway, now you have steel, very expensive. So if you're going to make something like an axe 250 years ago, well, you're going to have to take a bar of wrought iron, heat it up, in a case like this axe, fold it, leave a section open for the eye, put this in the fire, and get it up to that forge welding temperature, around getting close to 3,000 degrees. Forge weld a section of that together, and leave the end open like this, and now you're going to take a piece of that expensive steel, make a wedge out of it, and drive it in there, back in the fire, and forge weld that in there. That was called the bit. So now you have to, once you get it all shaped, now you see those gnarly looking, that you can change the shape that easily on the handle with the hammer. Right now he's doing what we refer to as drawing it out. He's
He's actually tailoring it. It's getting longer as he's doing it.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Bye now.
Excuse me, is this your water bottle? No, it's not. Thank you for asking.
If you want to hand that to me, I'll just set it up here, and then if somebody comes back looking for it, I'm sure they will. That way it's right there. Thank you.
Sure.
So we're now going to go into this big exhibit building here. I think they have farm implements as well in here. So the exhibit is open today. Oh, to the farm machinery and tool exhibit technology. Pretty neat. So I've been here before in this building. Whole board plows. What frick? So up there is information about the differences between Pennsylvania German and British American technology. Scrolling down a little bit. Mechanized threshing. So this is a thresher, it looks like. And they have tools for ice harvesting right here. And I'm sorry, my camera doesn't go out as far as I thought I'd like it to be. So there's a peerless thresher, just to give you an idea of the size of this thing. Over here, the back side of it right there to show you. There's a Conestoga wagon. Named for nearby Conestoga, Pennsylvania. Piece of McCormick equipment here. Oh wow. So they actually bred the Conestoga horse as well. Millstone. So what you're looking at right there is this part right there. Tam bark millstone. So there's a story behind why they mounted these on the horses so they can know when they were on the trail. They were coming down the trail. There's a term used, but I can't remember right off the top of my head. I don't know if it's called the ringing of the bells or something like that. So you would know if someone, it also would scare like highway robbers away. So they have a secure area. It's just things that they don't put out on display, but if you come in by an appointment, you can come and check it out with one of the staff members here. So we have looks like a couple of buggies and some more farm equipment in there. E.W. Carpenter, Emmanuel Wilder Carpenter, born in East Earl Township, or Earl Township actually. He was a cabinet maker, a tool maker, and a plane maker. So everything you see here, he actually made. So actually you're supposed to go in order. So when I came in, I should have started here, work my way around from that way and back all the way around. But it's really neat to see the farming technology.
I'm right here with you. Let's go look at the big machines. Because I think they have a tractor, a mini tractor here. By the time we get back.
So they have another wagon in here and restrooms over here on this part of the side of the building as well. Glad any rain has held off today. Would have been nice to get it on a sunnier day, but the sun has been peeking in through. We got some ladies doing so they're the Lancaster spinners.
Okay, we didn't used to be here. We were in up on the hillside. Well, raining is pouring.
Okay. Oh wow, look at that. They have a tavern in here as well. This would have been a hotel, actually. This is the Landis Valley Hotel, I believe.
It's a public dinner, so I still have to think.
So they have apple cider and popcorn. Let me see what else, what other options they have too. Oh, let me see what that thing is over there. Oh, they're doing stuff over here too, I forgot. Oh, they might be just making food. Oh, I think they're making apple butter over here. Yep, they're making apple butter. I'm probably selling it too. Yep. Nope, it's fine.
Howdy.
How you doing?
We're making apple
Apple butter. Oh wow.
Yep. Stir, stir, stir. Don't stop. Yeah.
I will in December when I go to
So right now it's still in
apple
the
butter here. We start at 7. Help you eat your apples there. We started this morning at 7 o'clock this morning with 18 gallons of cider. Until about maybe half hour ago, we started adding in apples. So we boiled that 18 gallons of cider down to 9 gallons. Because we get rid of 9 gallons of water. Then we'll put in about 2 bushels of cut up apple snitzes, which we had this morning about 12, 15 ladies here to help. And men. Ladies and men. To cut up the apples in the snitzes. We are now putting in the apples to cook them down to an apple sauce consistency. That will take us up to almost 3 o'clock today. Once that, hopefully if we're on time around 3 o'clock, we'll start caramelizing. Caramelizing means we're putting in sugar. You know how many pounds of sugar you think is putting in this batch? How many pounds? There's 50 a lot of S's after that, pounds. He's too high, you're too low. 20. Way too low. Way too low. 30. 30 pounds of sugar. Yeah. 30 pounds of sugar. That's how much you weigh. 6 pounds. So you have fructose, and sugar. All sugar. This much sugar.
Oh my God.
Yep. 50 pound bag. I always kid that 30. What's that guy doing? See, this is what the paddle looks like right there. It has holes in there so the liquid and everything can go through it. You want to stir the pot? You and your daddy or mommy want to stir it together? together. Mommy has her phone. She can take a picture. Go back and forth. Left.
Look over here. You're doing it. You're doing it.
So right here. Right now they're peeling the apples and coring them.
$21. Just order the corn.
No, it's actually we're making applesauce.
Applesauce, I thought so.
Okay, cool.
Thought it was applesauce.
I can smell it. It smells good.
Oh, you got it.
Not so nice. You want to try a slice, you might. You want to try a slice of apple? The slice you touch is a slice of cake. You want a slice? Slice of apple? Do you want to pick a slice of apple? Okay, well then why don't you take that slice right there?
Watch.
Okay, there you go. That's a lot of peeling. That's a lot.
That is a lot of peeling. It goes pretty fast, doesn't it?
It does, and it goes fast, which is nice. But then you have all that to peel.
Good outside.
Yeah.
Look at this.
It's a long ribbon of apple peel. Look at that. That's what it looks like. It looks like a long
Oh, I think he over here he's making sauerkraut. Cool. I think I've seen this gentleman before make sauerkraut.
I didn't make a great big thing. I didn't make a gallon thing.
Whatever works. Yeah, as long as you work the salt.
Over at Heritage Day, which I'm going to next week. Over there in East Earl, they're having the Heritage Day. So how many heads of carriages did you start with?
Well, I think there's about 8 will go in here. So, yeah, we just go up until we take it right to about right here. You don't want it too full because when it goes to it goes through that fermentation process, it'll overflow, and you don't want that make a mess.
Ah. Then you just add salt.
Yep. Iodized salt, or not. You don't want to use iodized salt because iodine kills bacteria, and you don't want to kill the bacteria that makes.
Yeah, you need the fermentation.
How long is it? 8 weeks. You can do 10 weeks. You can do longer. If you want stronger sauerkraut or softer sauerkraut, the longer you let it sit, the breakdown process. It takes longer.
Is the bottom of that flat?
Yeah, it's flat. We just put cabbage leaves on the very bottom, and then it's just
the twisting separate.
Well, the twisting, this keeps it packed because you want tight sauerkraut. But this is helping to work the salt into the cabbage and starts to break it down. And now you can see it's getting real watery. That's the salt breaking down the cabbage.
What I mean though is, so that pressing, that is all that you need to do to turn the cabbage leaves into like slivers.
Oh well, we cut it here on the
You
on
do
the
that there
mandolin.
first.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, we cut pieces, do the mandolin, fill this tray to about like here, and then that's a layer. So we'll pour that in, and so it's like that with a tablespoon of salt.
Oh, okay, so every time you add
Cabbage,
you
I
add
put a
little
tablespoon,
salt.
right?
Gotcha.
And it has to be kosher for pickling salt.
Oh.
Yeah, because iodine, if you use iodized salt, it won't work because iodine will kill the bacteria that you need to actually go through the process.
Oh, interesting.
So it has
That's
to be
good to know.
pickling. Yep. So now it's getting watery, and that's the salt breaking down the cabbage.
So are there things that you need to do to it to sauerkraut right?
Well, what you do is once it gets, I'll stop like right around here because you got to give room for when it expands. It'll go through a time.
How much did you lose?
4 or 5 days, where all of a sudden like
Well, there actually is a lot to do kind of here in C. A lot of demonstrations today and buildings that are, unless you come and pay the regular admissions, then you're allowed to come in and check out all these buildings. Now I don't know if these displays will be. Oh wow. I gotta figure out what that is over there. What's he doing? Oh. They're games. Oh cool. So this is an egg crate machine. So this is how they made the egg crates back then. So we'll see some more examples of those egg crates in use. Now we'll look over here. So this is all agricultural technology and stuff. There's still one more building I want to go check out that I've been wanting to go for a long time there. I believe they also have a nice gun collection as well. That's an apple peeler right there. Similar to the one we just saw the woman use over there. That's an improved apple slicer. And you saw that she used a more modern version of it pretty much. So this is the Goodell Leader apple peeler. Oh, cool. So this is probably a model, but it could be the actual thing of a hay baler. Let me see. Yep. Oh, it's a hay press actually. So it's called the hay press. Oh, cool. Oh, he's making something there. Oh, rope making. So it gives you the idea of pretty much the rope making process. Old technology. Now she can turn it.
Oh, there it is.
You're making a road.
He's doing the same thing.
Yeah, we want a picture of you actually.
Blue, red, and yellow. Blue, red, yellow.
Oh, cool. Now it's pulling it back.
Back in the day.
And the lady just made her own rope. Take it off. That is pretty neat.
You're wrinkling your face up the same way.
It's pretty neat to see that made. Again, there's so much technology show. Old technology that you're so amazed by. Oh wow, cool. Pedal powered scroll saw. Different patterns.
That's your strong hand.
Yeah, this hand.
Grip strength tester.
70. Wow, Casey. She don't have our And then they're trying to feed us. Oh, he got a ding.
Hold on.
He got a ding. Keep on, John.
Grip tester.
My man still got it.
Oh, here's a maze runner. Basically, you gotta move the marble through the maze. And this is zigzag. Ironically, this game is still, a version of it is still around today at arcades. Of the zigzag, you gotta keep the ball around the path by moving the teeter-tottering back and forth. Jenga. Big Jenga. Oh, cool.
Want some popcorn?
Yeah. Popcorn's only $1. Oh my god! I don't know how to do this.
Yeah, that's cool.
Inertia. Early game originated in Scotland on a sailing ship to America in 1710. The game provided during the 2-month voyage. The original game is on display is at the Smithsonian. Goal: get the wheel to stop at or close to 100 points. If it goes beyond 100 points, 0 points. Spin the inertia wheel on its axis. Let it go quickly, but do not push. Do not push. Players alternate tries. When the wheel stops, keep track of points. After each player uses his 3 tries, add up the point. Highest point total wins. Oh, almost. Pretty good. Connect 4. I gotta find out where the tour is. Oh, yeah, they never had this before. An ice shed. So they brought this out today for the So I've already been into the country store before on one of my previous videos, so you can check that one out. So she got some crafts here made. Whirligigs. Cool. Milks the cow. What does he do? Oh, saws the lumber. And drive the pole. Wrong way? Oh, there you go. Maybe. If I can get it to spin fast enough. Yep. Got it. Checkers. Or chess. Nope, checkers. Big giant checkers. Ooh. I'm wondering if they're actually doing that. Pig butchering today. Oh yeah, they are. Well, not sure if they're doing any live demonstrations, but showing how they butcher. So this is the Henry Hess Landis farm. So they have plants for sale. Showing.
There's 3 boys, and Shannon, he knows them, and they have a big butchery house.
Scrapple. Scrapple and puddings. Showing how they made actual pig ears.
Take a picture.
It's actual, those are actual real pig ears. So they must have done a demonstration of how they butchered it. And then there's the 2 halves. Oh, he's doing the entrails. So if you're squeamish, don't look.
Grind up what meat is in there, take any of the bone out that's in, put it back in the broth. Well, some of that meat comes off and gets rendered harder, and that's the pudding mix. We put a lot of that back in, and then add the cornmeal and flour to make the cornballs, which is more of a Pennsylvania Dutch version of scrapple. Plain scrapple has primarily just flour in it and seasoning. So if you go to a restaurant here in Lancaster County and order scrapple, you're going to get something that's fairly grayish colored, and some people don't like it because it is fairly strong of liver. And hog liver is stronger actually than beef liver, but we like to put a certain percentage of cornmeal in it, and that gives it a different, that mellows the flavor, and when it's fried even, then when you fry the scrapple, it just gives it more of a roasted flavor. We just like it a lot better. Yep.
Never had that, but I've had my share of scrapple.
Yeah, not a fan. Yeah. My guess would be is if you're not a fan of scrapple, but you tried the two side by side, the flour, just the kind of the plain scrapple, and then the pawn hoss, you'd probably, the pawn hoss would appeal. It still might not be a favorite too, but you could probably eat it more comfortably.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely prefer it. I don't mind. I mean, I've tried hog liver by itself, and I love beef liver, and onions, gravy, potatoes, the whole thing. But hog liver is just not the same.
No.
It's just
Very interesting. Yeah.
So, and I think that was true. I mean, even processed
Cooking the meat down,
butcher shop.
removing the bone.
Right. Right.
So they would cook it off, and of course to them, back in the day.
Oh, well, yeah, we expect when I get home, I just go by myself. I just go you know, it depends how you set up and what you're doing, but we're spreading it all out. You know.
How long do you usually live on thing?
Well, see, that's the thing. As long as you can. Like normally, it would be cold. We wouldn't even do this till December or January. You know, I mean, because you want it to be cold, and a lot of it's so that it's stiff. It's stiff, so you can cut clean cuts and stuff like that. You know, plus no bugs. You know, no bacteria, all that stuff. You know. So, but you know, today we have to. It's kind of loose and rubbery when we cut it. You know, but normally they would let it really go for hours and get real stiff. And like I said, it would be usually snow on the ground. You know.
How long's the whole process of butchering usually take?
Like I said, I can bang less than an hour. I mean, you know, I'm saying if you're digging in and going at it.
Yeah.
You know.
If you really were timing yourself.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to go at it and you're trying to get done, you know, but we stretch everything out.
And if you have a bandsaw.
Yeah, there's a lot of those things, you know. Yeah. Yeah, and anymore, you know, so much is boneless anyway and all that, you know. Break it all down. So yeah, we never used to do the sausage casing this thing, and last year I decided to give it a try, and it was not hard. So I'm going to attempt a floor thing again this time. I'm going to try to make a brush too. So you used to work in a butcher shop or worked in one or something?
Yeah, as I trained as a butcher in Philadelphia.
Oh wow, okay. Well then you know the official names and stuff along. Yeah.
Maybe it's been a while.
Rice is running these guys that were trained, whatever, you know, I call it a roast, you know, they give me the muscle name and all that stuff.
Right,
like,
right.
Nah.
So when I came for the barn tour, they showed us inside this very barn right here that you're looking at right now as part of one of the barns that was part of that tour that you can, some of them you can visit, most of them are on private property, but I'm sure if you talk to the owners they'll let you visit, but who knows. I picked up a copy of the book that day because it was also, they were doing the selling the book of the barns of Lancaster County. There is a little bit more to see. Over here is the not sure what's going on with this part of the property here.